Top 5.
So I feel like to a certain degree Annie took it too far. Like, you know, there's certain instances where yes, she spoke about it, she mentioned how she didn't like Nonku's mom, and well, not necessarily to say that she didn't like Nonku's mom, she just didn't appreciate that comment, of which when we see it now play out, I went back, I listened to my subscribers because a lot of you guys said, no Naledi, you actually didn't hear Nonku's mom correctly, of which, not to say that I didn't hear correctly, like I listened and then I obviously interpreted it the same way Annie did, which is obviously not hearing correctly, so y'all probably right. But then when I went back to go watch what she was saying, I then started to understand that I think Annie may have misunderstood it, and whether or not she did, I felt like she took it too far. You know, it kept being raised and raised and raised, and that's the only thing that I disliked. This season, well, in the 5 episodes, Annie's giving me a little bit of a instigator energy. I don't know what's going on, like she's giving me a little bit of instigator energy. I genuinely, I thought she was gonna bring the spunk this season, of which she is. I'm gonna have to give her credit for that. She is bringing the spunk, she's bringing the what do you call, the drama to the show. But the only thing that I dislike is, I don't know if it's me, it could be me, but I'm picking up a very condescending tone from Annie. And I'm going to tell you the one thing that really bothered me. The one thing that really bothered me was when Annie was like, okay, I'm married now to my husband, and now I want to learn Zulu and tradition. Now, in the part where they were learning Zulu, yes, it was a joke about how do I say I want a diamond ring. And initially I was like, yeah, okay, fine. But then when the husband's sister was trying to explain to her that, okay, what have you learned in Zulu? And she was like, I learned that I want a diamond ring. And then she was like, okay, when you go to the husbands, you need to get on your knees. And she was like, on my knees? In my head, I'm like, she had a very condescending tone to her own husband's culture, of which I was like, but girl, come on now. Now the part about her wanting to learn Zulu, I appreciate. Look, I mean, there was this whole conversation about why doesn't Annie know Zulu, and I saw it on social media, and you know what, I'm one of two ways about it. Yes, do I feel like if I was married to someone who learned a completely different language that I would attempt? Of course, to learn the culture, of course. But also, it's not really a must if my husband is okay with me not knowing the language. But from me personally, I would actively want to learn, right? So I'm not really faulting her for that. I am faulting her for her tone when she was talking to the sister, when she was like, why do I have to get on my knees? Why are we doing everything? And then I think someone also kind of asked her about, I don't know what it was. Someone else raised up something about her husband and the culture and everything like that. And she just seemed very nonchalant about the whole thing. And initially I was happy to see her actively engaging and wanting to learn those things, but then when I saw the little clips of how she was just kind of downplaying the whole thing, that kind of put me off of Annie. And initially what kind of made, like, side-eyed me was when she started doing the truth or truth at Surisha's party. Like, there's a lot of things that Annie's actually been doing that have been rubbing me up the wrong way. Like, she got to Surisha's party, they were playing games, now she's like, I want to play truth or dare, but truth, no, the party's not over, I've got one more game, I'm controlling the game. Man, like, Annie, babes, like, hey, yo, yazi, you know that video when they say the moment uvula umlomo uthi depend indoda izokuhlaza. That's legit how I feel about Annie. I just feel like when the episode started, when the season started, I was like, I know that's right, I know it. Now she's, you know, she's up and up. But then she started making these weird ass comments and I was like, Forex in a Rolex. No, Forex, okay? You know what, Annie's character has slowly depreciated on my list. I definitely can say I'm starting to see the little bits and pieces of Annie that I definitely do not like. I feel there's a whole lot of a condescending tone about it. I don't like it. Even the questions asking Nonku about how she met Fiso, like, were you a fangirl for him? The irony in that is that in what Annie asked Nonku. Because Nonku met obviously Sfiso, right? The late Sfiso. And she was excited, she jumped up and down for him, and Annie was like, yeah, so you were a fangirl. And in my head, I'm like, but you worked at your boyfriend's club. You worked at your husband's club. So don't act like when the moment presented itself, why didn't you say, no, you've got a girlfriend? Why didn't you say, no, I'm here to work, I'm not here to frolic with you? Ah, come on. Come on. No, Annie, just come on. For a second, just come on. Like, I just felt there was a very condescending nature to her asking the other women, especially Nonku, those questions. And also asking Nonku's mother. I was like, what the fuck? You know what? Maybe the issue here is the fact that it's Nonku's mom, bro. Like, it's someone's mom. And to a certain degree, I feel like, yes, in our culture as black people, we're always taught to respect elders, but we also need to be mindful when elders are stepping out of their, like, out of bounds. Like, for me, I'm one person where, yes, you may be older, yes, I will respect you by default, but don't take that respect for granted for my sake, because then was in my opinion. So yeah, Annie's character went from like a solid 8 for me to like a solid 6. Like I'm not enjoying her character at all. Like I'm just a bit put off by her. I don't know. Initially the Miss one was fine, but then I just, nah, she's not doing it for me this season. Okay, the next person that I really want to talk about is Surisha. Now Surisha has kind of kept the balance. You guys can see she's been doing fun stuff, and I like how Surisha also mentioned that the Zulu class, it was taken so lightly. Like, this is a serious thing. Let's learn. You guys can't be asking funny things, and you know, I get it, the younger ladies, but at the end of the day, it's like, we're going there to do something that's of significance to you. We're here to support you. So the least you could do is participate. Surisha has still maintained like the same kind of energy for me, which I really love about her. And I really love how she still handled things even when I felt like people were kind of overshadowing her at her own event, which was so weird. Coming from Annie. Very weird, because she wants to talk about other people's events. You know what, Annie? I hate that I defended you. No, I don't hate it. I dislike it. I dislike what you're doing. You're giving us a bad name. Anyway, the next person I really want to talk about is Nonku. You know what? I'll get to Nonku. Let's talk about like Kgomotso. Guys, can I be honest that I am enjoying like Kgomotso's energy this season? I am enjoying the shade. Like Kgomotso is shady. But I am enjoying like Kgomotso's shade. I'm enjoying like Kgomotso's ability to interact with the women. I am loving seeing like Kgomotso as much as I am this season. Like I am genuinely, I'm seeing her. And I love how she's developing relationships with people. That is important. And I felt like in the last season, there was a chip off the shoulder, which is funny because I'm seeing that from Annie now, like a chip off the shoulder. But like Kgomotso has now really kind of come into herself. She's really kind of like, you know, when she spring has sprung, she sprung into the flower that she is, and I love her. And the shade is just right. It's not borderline disrespectful, it's not it's just right in my opinion. Okay, remember when she shaded Nonku's mom? She's like, yeah, Nonku's mom, maybe they disrespect her because she dresses like a, I was like, type of thing. She said something along those lines, and I'm like, girl. Now the next person whose character or whose you know, persona I'm really enjoying is Jojo. I'm really enjoying Jojo. I genuinely thought Jojo would be the typical, you know, step back when there's a row. I expected her to go, oh my gosh, it's getting kind of ghetto. Instead, she was like, no, to Tobile, when Tobile was like, no, men, you know, they were trying to like instill that polygamy thing. I like how Jojo stood up to it to Nonku, and Nonku was like, all men cheat, and she was like, no, and white men buy. Hi bo, Nonku. Are you speaking? How do you know that? What do you mean by that? Like when Nonku said that, I was like, what do you mean by that, Nonku Williams? No, but come on, guys. Nobody asked themselves a question. How does Nonku know that white men buy? Exactly. Jojo's personality is something I didn't expect. It's fun, it's spunky, but her ability to stand up for herself is something that I really enjoyed from her, and I enjoyed because I can see now she's not a pushover. Because I thought, Jojo's gonna end up being a pushover, and they're going to obviously try, you know, come this side, come to this team, come to this team. So I love how Jojo stands her ground, and she's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that, right? So that's definitely one thing I love about Jojo. I love her relationship with her husband. I secretly hope her husband has cousins or brothers like Jojo. Honey, if your man has cousins or brothers or even distant cousins, call me. Cool. But I do love Jojo, and I do love Jojo and her husband. I think their relationship, out of every single one that I've seen, is one of the most organic ones, because that's genuinely a real housewife and the husband is present, you know? Haven't you noticed? I feel like out of everyone, the husbands who are present is Annie's husband. This season I'm seeing him quite a bit. It's Jojo's husband, and okay, Lonely London's husband, we've seen him now and then, but he's been present. Actually, most of them. Yeah, most of the husbands are present, because the other ladies are either, you know, divorced, single. So now the next person, so who have we spoken about so far? We've spoken about Annie, we've spoken about Kgomotso, we've spoken about Jojo. The next person that I really do want to touch on is an ultimate fave of mine, Lonely London, Mrs. London. It's London, baby. Okay. I love Londi. Nothing has changed. I did see the shade that she threw at Nonku though about, Nonku, you're always drunk. I was like, hi bo. Batum Londi, wait, is that her full name? Londi. What's Londi London's full name? It has to be Londi. What other name could it be? But she said a couple of things in her diary sessions which were kind of like, I expected better from you. Like, we know that Nonku was full of it, but that, you're always drunk. Like, hi bo. What? Okay, but in real fashion, what do housewives do? They take their kids to school in the push, they drop their kids off at St. Stithians, they go to yoga, and then they start drinking mimosas with their other housewives. I felt like that shade, every other shade that she did about Nonku, some of it was very, I didn't know whether it was coming from a funny place or it was coming from a bad place. Something about it was more cringe than it was funny. And like, you see, like Tongo's shade, is funny. It's funny because you can tell that she's just, it's the typical Nene Leakes, it's the typical Portia Williams shade. It's Phaedra. It's giving me Phaedra. Now, Lonely London is definitely, that shade is borderline cringe, because I'm just like, if Nonku is having fun at an event, let her be. You know what I'm saying? Let her be. Like, you guys are on a reality show. You're supposed to show us a real aspect. And the fact that you're saying that would allude us to believe that you guys deliberately want to stay sober because of your image. Then it's like, don't go to a reality show. But I understand the flip coin of it, that maybe Nonku's always drunk. Okay, fine. Personally, Nonku, ciao, baby, sweetie. If you come to my house, you can get drunk all you want. Like, we can get drunk together. But I hated the whole thing where Nonku was kind of being singled out for drinking. I don't know, maybe, I don't know how you guys feel. You can comment down below. Do you guys think that that was warranted? I don't think that was warranted from Londi. I think Londi was pissed off about Nonku making shade about the fact that, oh, you don't look like your Instagram pictures. On your Instagram pictures, you lighter. Not you, Nonku. Anybody but you. You were Versace to a paintball game. You see, the thing is, this is why I can't hate on Lonely London for that comment, because the fact that Nonku has been about that shade is not cool. And then she wants to get upset when she gets outed. Why would you go and say that to Annie when you know Annie's gonna go and tell Londi? They're friends. What were you, okay, but in a serious note, what were you expecting? But anyway, I'm still good with Lonely London. She's still in my good books. I do think that she made 1 or 2 comments that may have been a little bit sideways, but in her defense, I think that she was like, why did Nonku have to shade me when she doesn't even know me? And that part, I can understand. Shade for shade, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and a shade comment for a shade comment. Okay, thank you. The next person that okay, who's the next housewife? Who's the next housewife? Am I forgetting them? Who are the other housewives? Who have I counted? Kgomotso, Annie, Londi, Jojo, Surisha. Who am I missing? Tobile and I know Kgomotso is the new entrance, Mabusi is still there, and who else am I missing? Am I missing someone from the original cast? Because Mabusi and Kgomotso, they're the new additions. But I know Tobile is the other one, but who am I missing? Okay, I think the last person I was actually missing was Tobile. So last but not least is definitely Tobile Mselegu. Now, Tobile, I have to be honest, guys, I really like Tobile. I've liked her from, you know, Utano's Tale, right? I've liked her from that show because I felt like, yes, do I feel like she was the most favorite one? Yeah, I do feel like she's Mselegu's favorite because Tobile has just gotten so many work opportunities. Haven't you guys noticed? Haven't you guys noticed? Can we just side note? Like, Tobile's gotten so many work opportunities. What about the other wives? What about the other wives in Selegu? Thank you. But honestly, I like Tobile. I think that she's maintained her poise, which is what I love about her. She did this really nice dinner party. I didn't particularly like the shade that came from the other women, but the one comment that the woman made, which I had to agree with, was being late at the dinner that you invited people to. If you're going to invite me at 6 p.m. and arrive at 8:30, I will be gone by 7. I'm gonna be gone by 7. That was completely unwarranted. She didn't have to get there late. She was supposed to get there on time. Please don't invite people if your aim is to get there 2 hours late. I didn't understand the grand entrance. However, even at the table, you know, the commentary about, you know, polygamy and all that stuff, I felt like that was not the place and time to talk about it, because it's almost like, oh, you guys want to now instill your beliefs and your value system and what do you call that, your way of life onto us, which is not fair. I mean, Utano's Tale, you guys have a show for that. So if you're gonna come into Real Housewives of Durban, maintain the fact that some people like the monogamy in their relationship. They don't believe in polygamy. So to talk about it and try to embrace it or try to kind of ring everybody in, I don't know if that's what she was doing intentionally, but I guess the conversation would allude people to ask themselves, why are we having this conversation? You know what I mean? So that's I guess the only commentary I have on Tobile. I think she's a nice lady. Nothing has changed. She's very sweet. She did mention in her diary session that at Surisha's party she left because she felt like there was nothing she could contribute to the conversation because the other ladies knew each other, which was a fair statement to make. Now, the one thing about being a newbie in a group full of women is that you either have to assert yourself. Some people are not like others. Some of us are extroverts, so we can come into a group of people and we can just literally dive in and blend in. For example, Londi London came into a group with people she didn't know, and then the only person she knew was Annie, but when she came onto the show, her and Annie weren't as close, but I guess still having that relationship made it easier for Londi. However, I did feel like Tobile is very reserved, so I understood her comment on why she felt like because she had nothing to contribute, she was going to sit and be there. I wasn't too impressed with her outfit for Halloween. I feel like she didn't try. I feel like she could have. But then again, the sexy and scary, you know, it's vague, it's open to interpretation, you know, so I didn't really mind that. I just minded the part where she left without saying goodbye. That was very strange to me, but I feel like there's something that must have happened maybe behind the scenes that we don't see. So you see, this is why if it were Andy, Andy would have caught the behind the scenes and he would have released it at the reunion. Love you, Andy. But yeah, no, I feel like Tobile is very reserved for the ladies, and I feel like rightfully so. She's generally just been a very reserved lady, and I can see her, she's actively trying. For someone who generally seems like an introvert to me, she's actively trying to engage by coming to these events, by planning an event. You can see that Tobile is more so of the, you know, teas, dinners. Maybe it's what, you know, but I don't mind that. I feel like she'll come out of her shell soon enough. She really will come out of her shell soon enough. And then, oh, Nonku, did I mention Nonku and her mom? Yo, I Nonku. I got that now. Nonku. Look, Nonku reminds me a lot of like your Phaedra Park, you know, like very, very shady, very, and then, why would you say that? Like her lack of accountability kind of makes her a staple on the show. We've always got to have the problem child in the show, and Nonku happens to just be that character on the show. Do I feel like to a certain degree some women attack Nonku from time to time, or she's the scapegoat, or she's the one that they can throw all the daggers at? Yeah. But do I blame the ladies? No. Because Nonku stirs drama and then cries wolf. Listen to why I say that. She shouldn't have made that comment about Londi London. 1. 2. Fine, okay, Shapu. Annie said what she said about your mom. Now we must have a sit down. Now your mom must be involved. Now you must keep. Then after that, I do feel like Annie does attack Nonku. I have to admit that. I do feel like Nonku a lot of the time, she's probably on the defense because she's always ready to be attacked or ready to be addressed or ready to be, something must just somewhere happen to Nonku, which I have to admit, I do not like. Guys, let's leave Nonku alone. But I do feel like at times Nonku makes comments that are very unwarranted and then wants to cry wolf. Like for example, do not say people's men cheat. Do not say white men buy women and black men cheat. What is wrong with you? Talk to me. So you see, it's comments like that from Nonku that I feel make her the target. But also she puts herself in a position to be the target. And for me, it's like I just wish that I could have seen like a different side of Nonku this season, because I saw the same side last season where it initially looked like she was coming from a good place, wanting Ayanda and her to build a relationship with a child. Then next minute, now Ayanda must pay. Now this season, she's busy clamoring about Londi, she's busy making comments at the table, then she wants to cry wolf, then she says, and he keeps raising it up. Like, Nonku, I feel like at some stage in the game, maybe taking accountability wouldn't be such a bad thing. I don't think you're completely wrong. Do I think people attack you more than what you deserve? Granted. But if you didn't put yourself in that position, then nobody would have to attack you. But that's just me. That's what I'm saying. And also, the thing with Mabusi. Personally, I don't blame Mabusi for blocking Nonku. First of all, I didn't even understand the concept of, no, she blocked me so I DM'd her on Instagram. You can't DM someone on Instagram and they block you. So I'm pretty sure what you said was she blocked you on Instagram, then you DM'd her. Or maybe she blocked you on WhatsApp, then you DM'd her on Instagram. And then you said, whatever I did, I'm sorry. Nonku, you know exactly what you did. Nonku, you know exactly what you did. You can't deny someone that you knew. And if this person is adamant that Mara Nonku, uyangazi, and you're like, no, I really didn't know you, I don't know who you are, you're pretending to meet her for the first time when she's explaining to you that, hey Bato, now we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're like, but I still don't know you. What were you expecting from Mabusi? I appreciate Mabusi's ability to be real with herself, choose her peace, and if she chooses to block you on whichever platform she blocked you on, then rightfully so, Nonku, rightfully so. Like, to say whatever I did, I'm sorry, no, that's not taking accountability, that's dodging, that's deflecting. Just say, ever since I said this the last season about Mabusi, we don't know what happened behind the scenes, off the camera, when it wasn't filming season, but when it comes back onto the show and she blocked you and you don't know why she blocked you, then why are you apologizing? Now, there was a scene where they sat down and they spoke, and I don't know what Mabusi said. I don't remember. I didn't watch that part because I was really I wasn't feeling Mabusi's Mickey Mouse outfit, eh? I was like, was the theme Disney or was the theme Halloween? Like, why didn't she just have like a sword hair or like blood coming down the sides? But then, you know, Mabusi's Mabusi. I still like Mabusi, bro. And I think her trip is hard. Nobody trips harder than Mabusi on that show. Mabusi's trip is hard. Mabusi's trip is literally competing with Gucci Mane. Fight me. I'll drop location in the comments. No, okay, fine. Maybe we're taking it too far. But do I feel Mabusi? I love how she dresses, guys. I'm a Gucci girl. Like, I like Gucci. If you guys want me to start a GoFundMe so you guys can buy me Gucci, like, I'm down, bro. But I feel like Mabusi's been real. She's always been a stand-up person from season 1 up until this season. And her blocking Nonku, I feel like it was warranted. Whether or not, I don't remember if Mabusi actually addressed why she blocked Nonku or not. But do I feel like it was warranted if it's regarding what happened last season? Then yeah. Take your L, but don't tell people that you don't know why you're sorry. That's just a lack of accountability. And we are, say it with me, say it with me, grown. Love you, nunks. Last but not least, Kimoto. Kimoto is back, guys. I don't know if Kgomotso is actually back on the show or Kgomotso was just making like a cameo appearance. Kgomotso, I have a few things to address with you. Why didn't you come to the reunion? Why didn't you come to the reunion but you have the gall, the nerve, the bladder, the gumption to come to the second season? And then why are the producers allowing that? Huh? Kgomotso's come back on the second season. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really feeling her towards the end. She was playing the villain role, so I wasn't feeling her. But her coming back this season feeling like she's done nothing has happened. Okay, but she didn't really do anything, guys. She was just, her and Annie were addressing the whole Zulu thing, the whole patriarchy thing, the whole speaking Zulu when there's other people who are speaking English, right? Where there are other people who don't understand Zulu, which I feel was a fair statement. But then why didn't she come to the reunion? Because Kgomotso knows that she's done other things, but why didn't she have, you know, why wasn't she a stand-up person and comes to the reunion and actually say her piece? Because she knew what she was coming towards at the reunion, so she didn't come. But then she can still come to the second season. I really hope it's a cameo role. I don't know, man. I think Mabusi deserves more of a like, you know, cemented role in that show. I feel like Kgomotso, I don't know if they brought her back as the villain for round 2. I didn't mind her in the first season, but I felt like sometimes she took it too far. But this season, coming back and acting as if nothing's wrong was just very strange to me. And I saw how she kind of kept her distance from Nonku, if I'm not being mistaken. I saw how she kind of kept the distance. She didn't really say much because you could see she didn't have a diary session. So that's why I figured that she's probably not one of the main ones anymore. I didn't see her diary session. So, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. But the one thing I'm gonna have to tell you guys is you guys were ultimately and truthfully right about Nonku's mom. Nonku's mom did not say what I thought she said in the first episode. She really didn't, guys. She said, you guys may be pretty, but you're not like the queen. Like, you're not as beautiful as me. And I had to watch it and watch it and watch it, and I began to understand what was being said, right? So that's fine. And then who I think throws the best party, I really enjoyed Blondie London's sip and scene. That royal blue was hitting, boy. That blue was hitting. I loved it. And I also enjoyed Tobile's dinner if it wasn't for the, you know, the late coming and stuff like that. Surisha, I love her. I've always loved her little cute events. I love Surisha, right? So honestly, I'm enjoying where it's going so far. I really am. Certain women who were my faves have now become my unfaves. Like, for example, it was Annie Lakongo, now it's Lakongo, Surisha, Blondie, Annie, then Nonku, then the queen. Nonku's mom, I really don't want to say much because honestly speaking, truthfully speaking, I watched each and every episode afterwards and I feel like Nonku's mom is just, I can't help but feel like, man, she doesn't seem like a bad lady, guys. She seems like a cute, sweet lady. Like, even when she was having the little toe session with that Kongo, and she was like, yeah, I really didn't say it. And then in the diary session, she was like, I'm so glad somebody understood. And I just feel like maybe I was a bit too harsh. I feel like I was too harsh on Nonku's mom because these episodes are revealing that she's just a human being, man. She's just a human being. And you know what, guys? I have a very soft spot for moms, probably because growing up without my biological mom, I tend to gravitate more when I see moms. I become very soppy. So I didn't like Nonku's mom because I didn't like how Nonku's mom bullied Ayanda. However, in each and every episode, like, you know, watching her, seeing her, I don't really think she has bad intentions. I think she's just there to be there. And you know, and I feel like with Nonku not really having anybody as like on her side or as her friend, having her mom there, if it makes it easier, then hey, man. But Mama Queen, the queen, please, don't miscommunicate because we'll misunderstand. But yeah, guys, I feel like I don't dislike her as much anymore. I feel like I've seen a different side to her. Like, especially when she spoke about, was it her ex-husband? And she started getting very emotional about it, and I was just like, you know what, guys, everybody has their own story, and it's just like you think you see one side of people and you use that to determine the kind of person you think they are, when in actual fact that might not be the true thing. And I can only imagine when Nonku's mom watches the show and sees all the comments people are saying about her, it probably hurts her feelings. So Mama, you're kind of on my top 5 favorite right now. Just stop what you're doing, okay? No more bad comments. But I kind of like Nonku's mom. And I don't know about her dress code. But it's fine. It's fine. But I do like her, so I'm glad that she's kind of there. I didn't know how I felt about it at first, but I think I'm kind of warming up to her. I even sometimes forget. I just see wives and then I'm like, God, man, Nonku's mom is there. So yeah, I'm hoping to see what the rest of the season has. I think we're already halfway, and so far it's been good. It's been very mild drama, which is good. I don't want to see people throwing glasses at each other or anything like that, but it's been a very kind of pleasant episode to episode, and I like how there's things to do. I do wish that they could have had more activities, but I think due to COVID, they weren't obviously traveling and doing all the other things like the ladies from Real Housewives of Johannesburg would. So guys, I'm really excited. I hope you enjoyed this TV recap, the breakdown, the second breakdown actually. Look out for my last one after I think the 13th episode. That's when I'll give you guys an all-rounder of what I think of the show. But so far, I'm giving the show a solid 8. I was gonna say 7.5, but I'm gonna round it off to 8 because I feel like it is definitely, I'm enjoying how it's playing out. I really like where it's going. I think the second season of Real Housewives of Durban was way better than the second season of Real Housewives of Johannesburg. Aye, that one was just no, bottom. They were down horrendous. But anyway guys, that is it. That is the end of this TV recap of Real Housewives of Durban. Comment down below and let me know what you thought of the character breakdown. Let me know who you enjoy and who's your favorite housewife. But until then, I'll see you guys on the next TV recap. And it's your ultimate fave checking out.